stay focused on keeping.
Yeah.
Flipping is secondary.
Flipping.
Don't get distracted by that money and not buying rental properties.
Flipping is a business because you have to work to make money.
Making money in real estate is exciting when you flip.
Xin chào mọi người, hôm nay Trinh đang ở Oklahoma City, được dịp phỏng vấn Nathan Cao, một trong những người investor sớm nhất và thành công trong bất động sản ở Oklahoma City. Xin mời Nathan giới thiệu về mình.
My family moved to Oklahoma City in 1996 and have been living here since. I went to middle school, high school, college, and stay here in Oklahoma City. And a couple of years after college, I got started in real estate in 2008, and met my wife in 2009. We got married in 2010, and convinced her to not get a job. And she had a master's degree, but to join me and build our real estate dream.
So that was your dream started first in 2008.
2008.
And then after your wife, after you get married, 2010, your wife joined you and become a power couple in Oklahoma City. And can you share with the audience how did you start it? What's the first house, the first investment?
Sure.
And what you have now?
So I was fortunate to be able to educate myself. Obviously start with the book that really changed my just the mental business mindset is the book called Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Which I think a lot of people are familiar with, Robert Kiyosaki. But that book gave you an idea, but it didn't really tell you how. And so I kind of had to nurture the idea, and I knew that I wanted to be a business owner through college. I just didn't know how. So in 2008, I bought the first rental property. Yeah, and I knew that real estate. Understand that real estate is about buy and hold. Right? It's long term. You build it slow, long term hold. So I did that. That was the goal, and I bought 7 units in the first year. I started midway through the year and bought 7 units. And I had a very supporting sister, older sister and brother-in-law, and they supported me unconditionally. They co-signed the first 3 loans for me. First I bought it with hard money and did the renovation and then refinance using their credit. Making money in real estate is exciting when you flip a house or you wholesale a deal, whatever the case, or you sell a house as an agent, whatever. It's exciting, but don't get distracted by that money and not buying rental properties. Rental property is not attractive upfront. You have to do a lot of work. You have to manage it, remodel it. It's not sexy by any means. And a lot of people, they do a few and they don't like it. They say, I can just flip and flip and flip. But if there's an advice I will give is that, stay focused on keeping. Flipping is secondary.
Flipping is a business because you have to work to make money. And it works for people who
Or rather, it's a job.
It's a job.
It's
a business. You have to work and make money. But once you build enough equity and leverage it with your finance, then it's best to hold.
Yeah. So from there on, we start flipping. 2010, 11, 12 is when we start to really vamp up our growth. We would flip 40, 50 houses a year and buy 40, 50 to keep. And we keep going that way for a long time.
Yeah.
So it sounds fun or even exciting, and if you watch enough TV, it looks really easy, right? But it's not. Right? It's not easy. But you have to be committed.
What's the most struggle in the real estate investment that you have met? What's the
By
hardest
far,
lesson?
yeah, by far, early years, the first year, second, third, fourth, even fifth year, financing is the biggest obstacle, biggest. And that's,
So you didn't get enough credit with the bank and you couldn't get enough down payment? Is that what you mean?
So because both of us does not have a W-2 job, right? So we have to supplement. Before that, we're buying rental property with what I call soft money lender, where they lend money based on the deal, not your income or how much cash you have. So fortunately, at the time, home price was low enough where you can cash flow. It's harder to do now. But those that have a W-2 job or you have a business, I think that makes it easier to borrow, and I think you have to leverage. So understand financing and leverage is critical for growth. And the second most important part is finding good deals.
Good deals.
That's require a lot of investment in networking, in meeting people, and maintaining relationships. That's also very important early on. Those two, I think, are very important. And then management and other things you kind of have to figure out along the way.
So you basically learn on your own for the first few years, or the most struggle is the finance. And learn how to leverage it. But after you master it, you just grow and snowballing it.
It may be crazy to say this, but for me, after you're doing something for a while, it becomes very
like second nature.
Second nature. You can do it. I tell my friend that it's easier to buy a house sometimes than it is to buy a pair of shoes. Right?
Yeah.
If you're particular about your shoe, it may take you a whole week to find a pair of shoes that you want. But it may take 5 minutes to buy a house. Right? If the deal is right. So just
just the more you do, the more you master at it.
And those that are very inspired by real estate, you have to nurture that passion. You have to be obsessive about real estate.
So that's how you started with single family homes. And then how do you get into commercial or bigger?
So commercial, it's just, everybody that single family, when I started, it's very, very, it's not popular. 14 years ago, even banks, they don't love single family at that time, right? That has changed a lot. Now big companies are buying single family. But for me, single family is so important because of the availability of deals, right? Easy to find, dễ mua. Thứ nhất, thứ hai, dễ cho thuê. Okay. Thứ ba, actually this is more important. It's the financing advantage, where if you find a deal that is good enough, you can get 100% financing. You may not be able to do that early on in your career, but as you become more established, you can get 100% financing, and that allows you to grow much faster than commercial. If you were not to have partners. That makes sense? Because real estate is very capital intensive. My goal is to grow as fast as I can. And when you grow fast, you need a lot of money, right? So, and how do you grow fast without partners? Single family. I think single family is the only way. I like commercial, but I still love single family. That's the honest.
But for your scale of single family homes, but because it's a big investment portfolio, so it's considered it's a big investment. It's part of investment.
Once you have enough volume, enough doors or units, you can have staff and
take care of it.
And they can take care of it. It's no different than apartments or others class of commercial.
So you prefer a lot of single family homes over a big apartments with the same income. Is that because of the equity built in single family home bigger? Because for cash flow itself, big apartments for rental apartments actually make more profit.
Sure.
And less cost and less headache. You have one property to manage instead of 100, right?
Sure.
So is that the equity, the appreciation in the single home family home that you know interests you, that you look in the future?
Is for me, for example, to buy, let's say, to buy 100 houses versus to buy 100-unit apartment complex. If you have experience with single family, it takes you a lot less money to buy 100 houses versus to buy an apartment complex. If you were the sole owner, if you're just you, or you and your spouse, right? In my experience, if you buy single family house correctly, the bank will lend up to 80% of the appraised value. And if you buy, for example, you buy a house for 100,000 and it needs, you know, let's use easier math. Let's say you buy a house for 50,000 and it's only need 20,000 in repair. So your all-in cost is 70,000 and the appraised for 100,000. Right? And the bank lends you up to 80%. You only borrow 70,000. You only need 70,000, and you're all in with no money out of pocket. Right? Apartment, the lending guideline on commercial more than 4 units are different. They want skin in the game. They want equity. So whether it's 20% or 25 or even 30%.
30%.
Or even higher, right? So every million, so to make it easy, every million that you need to buy, you need, say, 300,000. Every 10 million, that's 3 million. Whereas in houses, if you do it right, you need much less than that. So you can grow faster on your own with single family.
If you don't have enough partner.
Now apartment, apartment, once you get to a certain point, apartment makes more sense because you have the 3 million to buy it, and then it has the full staff, it has all those things. So apartment makes more sense.
But I know you're developing apartments right now, or you had some too.
Yeah, so building a new development, so new construction of 36 micro units in the Asian district. So very excited about the area that I care a lot. Our first home duplex when we moved here in '96 was one street over. So it means a lot to me, and I'm involved with the Asian district on the board in the last 3 years. So it's
another thing about Nathan and his wife Scarlett is they are very involved in the Asian and the Vietnamese community itself. And your wife is the president, I believe?
Yes, she is taking that big leadership role.
Wow.
Yes.
And they have 3 kids. And they're full-time investors, very involved, and willing to share and help the community and build the community, make the community look better, and work with other business owners to uplift the community. So that's something that we really admire you guys for that.
And there are numerous of individuals like ourselves here, as you have met. So there are many friends here.
Yeah. Met great people here with a very tight-knit community, and all willing to help and share and think for the better of the community. Think, build well for everyone. So, anything else you would like to share with the audience about investing in real estate, especially in Oklahoma?
Well, I mean, of course I love Oklahoma City. I'm very involved in just development, local, politics and some of that. So Oklahoma City is set up really well for growth. And I think a lot of people that have been watching and reading, and you've seen a lot of publication that list Oklahoma City in the top 5, top 10, top 20. Collectively, I think Oklahoma City is one of the handful of places that you want to be in America, and not just on the investment part of it, but in terms of affordable housing. If you're just a regular person buying a home and having a regular job, you get to own a home. You don't have to drive 45 minutes to go anywhere, and you can enjoy a very good quality of life, education, raising your family, but also people that want to be in the heart of all the cool things.
Yeah, just
you
like,
can be here.
Just like Nathan shared, where we are is called Midtown, right?
Midtown.
Midtown is like the very safe, high-end area of Oklahoma City. And normally, it's very hard for Asian or Vietnamese to be in the heart of, a big city. But for Oklahoma City itself, Nathan lives a few minutes from here, and a lot of our Vietnamese friends live in a great neighborhood just like this. And this is another thing that Nathan and his wife share, that we have a lot more opportunities to live in the best area, safest area in the city. Thank you, Nathan, for sharing a lot of information with VietCRE today. Is any bigger plan in the future for developing Asian community? Would you like to tell the audience?
Sure. I mean, I think there's opportunity for Oklahoma City, and not just Asian district, but beyond that. And if anyone that wants to come for a visit, I'd love to take you out for lunch or coffee, and connect with the right people. If I can't help you, I'm sure I can find brokers and lenders and politicians that can help make it happen.
And collaborate to make a bigger project. Maybe we'll see Vietnam Town here one day. All right, thank you so much, Nathan.
Thank you.
Thank you.